morning, good afternoon, definitely morning for some people. Hello, 6 a.m. in USA, apparently. Must be West Coast. We get some snow here, not too much. Not too much. But, yeah, hello. So this music might be a bit loud actually. Check. Is that like music still too loud? Oh, Zordos, what's happening? What is happening? Heavy intercessors is what I have on this list of things to do. The never-ending batch of heavy intercessors. I'll just be live for about an hour this morning. Greg is a Saturday crew for a banking call center. Good news is I can paint models on the clock as I work from home. Look, you got it sorted. Sounds like you got it sorted, Greg. Alright, I was at the point where I was still doing base coats and base colors on these guys. These guys have been taking me a long time. But hey, nothing in this life that's easy is worth doing quickly, is it? So, cool. Trying to think. It's going to be a weird week for me. There's not going to be as much content as normal, obviously, Christmas and stuff, but I have an hour this morning, so I thought I'd just do a quick stream. Say hello, wish everybody Merry Christmas. Hope you all get the 40k that you want for Christmas. Peter, Merry Christmas, how you doing? But, yeah, I was so excited this morning. It looked like we were going to get some decent snow, but then it very, very quickly started raining, and it was like, oh. So maybe we'll get some good snow overnight. I'd like to build a snowman. I'm trying to convince my 4-year-old that the snowman can come to life, like that snowman cartoon, and they can take them flying away all over the world. So, I'd like to build a snowman, but we don't usually get white Christmases here, so the little bit of snow we had this morning gave me like a false hope. I don't really have any 40k games planned for the next couple of weeks. But it doesn't hurt to get some painting done, does it? I guess the heavy intercessors will be the first unit that I actually get finished in 2024, because I started building my second squad of heavy intercessors. I like them that much in 10th edition. I think it's just Gravis Marines. I think Gravis Marines are just really well costed, maybe. Like, all the Gravis Marines are good. You see everybody running Inceptors, you see lots of people running Eradicators. Everybody that's running Gladiators is running Aggressors, and then, do you know what? I haven't seen that many people play heavy intercessors, but I don't know why, because ever since I started trying them, I'm like, man, heavy intercessors are good. Like, really good. Like, possibly, I think they're my favourite troop choice now, and I used to always run Infiltrators, like every game Infiltrators, and then for the longest time I was also an Incursors person, or an Incursor guy. Like, I ran Incursors like a buttload of tournaments. Hi Creel, good morning. But now I'm very much a heavy intercessors person. I definitely feel like I cannot drop the one squad of heavy intercessors that I'm running. I definitely feel like I want to be running... I don't know if I never ran that many troops in army lists, so I'm not sure I need a second squad, but if I'm making any models over the holidays, I think I'm going to finish making that second squad of heavy intercessors. I'm very tempted by a second squad of them, I guess. Pete just says, honestly, this would be great to have tomorrow super early while I'm up at 3 in the morning to smoke 2 hams for Xmas Eve dinner. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow will just be very difficult for me, right? Like, we'll be going to church. The kids will be busy probably the whole day with... We got some visitors coming tomorrow as well, so I figure chances of me getting to stream tomorrow are like slim to none. We probably want to watch a Christmas movie with the kids as well. So yeah, it would have been cool to be live tomorrow. I just probably think realistically it's not going to happen. So I thought I'd just jump on here for like the hour I've got this morning while the wife and the kids are baking some stuff. And just say hello, wish everyone Merry Christmas, and continue this never-ending quest to finally... I haven't finished a model in ages. I'd finished like 2 or 3 models right before 10th edition came out, and then 10th edition came out and changed everything, so I started having to paint all the tanks rather than painting the models that I expected to be good. And then also the thing about 10th edition coming out was a bunch of models that I just finished got made legends, and that was a very hard pill to swallow. And I definitely feel like in the last little while, maybe I haven't painted as much as I was doing just before 10th came out, so I kind of want to try and rectify that. I have been very busy. The job I work at has been very, very busy. So there's not really an excuse, it's just, you know, it's the truth. We have been very busy, so hopefully we're going to get try and get a few more models finished in the next few months and get going again. So they get a 2+ on the objective, says Greg. So, well, if one single guy has his toes on the objective, Greg, they do get +1 to their save against 1 damage weapons. But the whole squad get that if one guy is touching the objective. And then obviously with cover, it's good. You can armor content them on top of that, which is also good. So potentially, if they've got them on an objective, you can kind of, if you're in cover on an objective and you're willing to pay a CP on them, against 1 damage weapons you could ignore -3 AP. So like on a -3 you would still save on 3 up, which could be very good considering their toughness 6 with 3 wounds a pop. I have found in the tournament I was just at, in one of the games, 100% the heavy intercessors were my MVP unit. And in another couple of games, they just wither so much fire. Fire that would have like killed a toughness 4 marine squad like 2 or 3 times over. The heavy intercessors are just chilling there. Good morning, Ed. How you doing? Peter just got hold of a couple of squads of heavy intercessors. Yeah. The other thing Blood Angels can do with them that's dope is we can teleport them around with the Librarian Dreadnought, which is honestly very dope. So like turn 1, if there's not a great teleport target, you can just literally take a squad of heavy intercessors and put them on any objective that the opponent don't have, you know? Just teleport them straight on there, and then they're super durable, and they can do actions and they can score points the entire game. Their guns aren't the worst, they aren't the greatest, but they aren't the worst. And the other thing I like about them is the guns are both heavy and assault. So because they're Gravis, they don't move very far, just 5 inches. But because all their guns are assault, it means if you need them to move somewhere and do an action, then they can at least advance and do an action because their guns are all assault, right? So it's almost just good thing after good thing for the heavy intercessors. I honestly don't... For 105 points, I really like them. I would say that for me they're like an S tier unit. Yeah, we have them reviewed in our next tier list video that's coming out next week. I can't remember off the top of my head where we put them, but I'm sure I would have argued for them to be put pretty high up. I think they're my favourite troop choice in 10th edition. Hello, David. What do you think about an entire assault intercessor army, cheap saturation with lethal hits? I mean, here's my problem, is I don't know if I think toughness 4 marines are very good at the moment. I really aren't running that many. I think the only toughness 4 marines I have in my army list are Death Company with jump packs, And I feel like most of the time the Death Company with jump packs are going to be hiding behind cover, and then whenever they come out of cover they generally just die. So I'm really underwhelmed. That might be the best way to put it. I'm underwhelmed, or I'm unimpressed with Toughness 4 Marines this edition. I think they're really difficult to play. They're not that great. As such, I really aren't running very many at all. Like, I surprised myself with how few. In the tournament I just went to, I had 6 Toughness 4 Marines in my entire list. Everything else was Gravis, or tanks, or dreadnoughts. And I did really well in that tournament, like really, really well. Like, a single dice roll from finishing 3rd out of like 30 people. Well, it was actually... My opponent needed to roll to revive a character on an objective, or that was my objective. And I also needed to roll to teleport my guys onto an objective, and I failed the roll, my opponent passed the roll, and if either of those rolls were different, my roll was a 2-up, his roll was a 2-up. If either of them were different, I'd have finished top 3. And no one would have had a better rate. Like, the guys that were above me were just above in battle points. No one went 5-0. It was all 4 and 1s, right? Hello, Barrymore. Clint. How you doing, Clint? Played 2 games recently. I agree with heavy intercessors, but I used them at the end of 9th. You know what? I used them a couple of times in 9th, but I guess the change to OC in 10th edition has made them even better for me. And I guess the change to actions and the fact that their guns are assault and heavy. I think there's a lot to like about the heavy intercessors, honestly. Huh. If you guys want to watch some content over the holidays that you didn't yet see, we did a video on the Grots on Thursday night that was like a year in review. It's like kind of a comedy episode. It's like an episode where we talk over everything that happened in the hobby for the whole year, and then kind of give our 2 cents on if we think if things were generally good or bad. You'll probably find it if you search like Grots year in Warhammer 2023. So that's like an hour and a half. Do you know what? I'll probably link it on my community page. Maybe I'll do that today, or maybe I'll do that tomorrow for anyone that's like wanting something to watch on. And it's just kind of a bit of fun. But it was a fun video to make, and we talk over everything that happened. And give our honest opinion on a bunch of reasonably decisive or divisive things that actually happened this edition, like fixed points costs, stuff like that. Mullen says that he never thinks the +1 save comes into play. I mean, it depends, Mullen. I played against Tau and Chaos Knights, and it came into play a lot against the Tau, and because Tau's indirect fire does not have high strength or AP, then it was kind of huge against the Tau. That was the game that the heavy intercessors were MVPing. And that's the thing, sometimes when you play Tau, they don't seem that difficult to beat, and other times when you play Tau, they can feel like the most overpowered, obnoxious army ever. And I feel like against Tau, heavy intercessors were really, really good. They soaked up so much of the indirect fire, turn after turn after turn, and like none of them... I want to say he shot like probably like 30 or 40 indirect fire shots at them every turn, and it took him like the whole game, and there was like still 2 heavy intercessors left. So I guess it just depends, and that's the thing about going to a tournament, right? Like, you never know what you're going to come up against. So, you know, maybe you come up against Tau, and heavy intercessors are super... They were really useful against Chaos Knights as well, because Chaos Knights have every single Chaos Knight, and my opponent had like 12 of them, has like a 48-inch indirect blast, strength 5. I think it's called the Havoc Launcher. So like in turn 1, oh, do you know what? I lied about that. I had 2 squads of toughness 4 Marines. In turn 1, he just instantly kills like 1 squad of the toughness 4 Marines with the Havoc Launchers, because it's about against a 5-man squad, I guess it's about, you've got 10 or 12 of them, probably getting like 50 shots a turn. So 50 hit rolls becomes like 30. So it's like you gotta take 20 saves on your 3-up, because you can't. I was gonna say because you can't get your armor save improved by cover anymore. So you got to take 23-up saves. I lost my whole 10-man squad of intercessors in one turn. Maybe it was bad rolling, but still. You then proceeded to start shooting the heavy intercessors, and the heavy intercessors don't. They just laugh at strength 5 indirect with no AP, because they're like, well, we'll save on 2s, and you only wound us on 5s. So a big difference, I guess, between the regular intercessors getting wounded on 3s and saving on 3s, against being wounded on 5s and saving on 2s, right? And then 3 wounds per model as well. I think regular Marines, like intercessors, when you compare the extra 20 points you pay for the Gravis, I feel like the Gravis guys are way ahead. But hey, maybe it's just the meta I'm in and stuff like that. Could be. I do like things that have. I do like durable units. I do put. You know, I sometimes put durability over utility, I guess. I always still like if you're alive, you'll be able to do something, as opposed to if you're dead. Melinda says hello. What's happening, dude? Ahsoka, here all the way from the galaxy far, far away, says Gravis are way ahead. I think Blade Guard are still good with the Invent though. Yeah, I mean, I think Blade Guard are good. I just think Blade Guard are a different sort of unit now. Like, I think if you run Blade Guard in a squad of 3, I think they're really good. But I don't run the 6s. And I'm not sure I ever will. Not unless they get like another rule change. I just don't know if they have enough strength. Like the strength 5 really worries me. Like, even if you're getting +1 to wound, even if you're getting lethal hits and stuff like that, I feel like strength 5 is a really awkward amount of strength. I suppose it's one of the reasons that Sanguinary Guard don't see maybe as much play with their strength 5, right? But yeah, no, I like Blade Guard. I think their invulnerable saves are useful, very useful. I think they're very good at killing chaff units, I guess. And if you need something to kill chaff, then the Blade Guard are actually very good at that. Greg says, you convinced me, man. I have an RTT in the middle of the next month, and I'm definitely going to see a lot of indirect fire, as well as the wee blue fish people. The survivability is wild. Yeah, if you're up against Tau, then heavy intercessors are brilliant. Get them in cover, get one of them touching the objective, and they're going to really struggle to remove them with indirect fire, period. The list I took to the GT, which I made a video on about a month ago, I'm only making the slightest tweaks to it, and I'm going to take it to another one. Because I was so close, literally one dice roll from finishing top 3, I'm convinced that with a bit more practice with that list, I could maybe finally win a GT. Or maybe even like top 3. Top 3 would be okay. I don't personally think there's much difference between strength 5 and 6. I mean, the issue is what happens when you come up to like, there's a lot of things that are toughness 10 and above, right? Like the meta that I'm playing in, there's a lot of toughness 10 stuff. So I don't even think there's much difference between strength 8 and strength 9 from the Sons of Sanguinius detachment, let alone 5 to 6. Maybe that's fine in the meta that you're playing in, if you think that's good, you know? But I play Death Guard a lot, and also Beasts, not Beasts of Nurgle, just Demons of Nurgle, Mullen. And Demons of Nurgle are crazy, like Beasts of Nurgle are like T9 and shit now. So like it's very difficult if you're running around with like strength 5 and 6 weapons to have enough attacks to really make them worried on their like toughness 9 enemies, and also you can only play Red Rampage on one unit, right? I mean, potentially more than one, I guess, if you've got a captain in the list, but the captain might not be in the right unit. I am genuinely... like, I just don't do it, right? Like, I genuinely think it's bad. Like, if I want to play Death Guard and all my weapons are strength 5, I'm not going to be loving that for sure. And remember, whenever you get within 9 inches of Death Guard, they're making your save 1 worse. So suddenly your save is saving on a 4, which is bad anyway. And then you're also -1 toughness. So yeah, Death Guard are pretty tough to deal with. Aggressors are better for damage for Blade Guard for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're a different type of unit, right? Aggressors are the better damaging unit. Blade Guard do different things, though. I feel like Blade Guard's job is to be durable on an objective, have that invuln save, kill maybe some chaff unit that maybe wants to take that objective, and then maybe perform some actions or something. Would you play any of the old editions if you had the chance? I mean, morning Phil. I started in 2nd edition, so I have like a soft spot for 2nd edition, but the old editions, it takes so long to play, and it would take forever to remember all the rules and get them right. I'm more interested in playing boarding actions, but I mean, I definitely enjoyed playing the old editions back in the day. That's where I started. I played through 2nd. I think I played 2nd a lot. I played 4th and 5th a lot, excuse me, and then quit, and then came back in the very end of 7th, and sort of started again more serious with 8th. Hello, Marcus. I'm painting 30k Imperial Fist because of insomnia. They're yellow gold with a burnt umber oil wash, which is brownish. I just wanted to avoid pea-style yellow. Fair enough. Hope you're well, Marcus. We're not going to be live too much today. I've got family stuff to do. But I figured to get on for a little bit, just to say hi before Christmas, and then I think the next thing you'll see coming out that's new on the channel, I think, is on the 27th. I think it's the 27th, let me check that. Yeah, on the 27th, so Wednesday, we'll have the next tier list video out. If I'm live before then, it's probably just going to be me playing a random Warhammer 40,000 game. We'll see what time looks like. Morning, sellers. Good morning. Merry Christmas, Phil. Todd, how often do you get 1 damage weapons to affect those heavy intercessors, John? I'm asking because I'm trying them, and they seem to have let me down so far. Maybe weird or bad matchups. Overall, I want to say it's probably as little as like... I want to say as little as 30% of the time. So I want to say like 70% of the time, the 1 damage weapon stuff doesn't seem to come into play against heavy intercessors. But when it does come into play, you're going to notice it massively. It'll come into play more against some armies. Like I said, Tau, Chaos Knights are going to be good examples where their indirect fire is just completely neutered by those heavy intercessors. But I mean, here's the other thing, like a lot of people will realise, oh, he's running heavy intercessors which are very good against 1 damage weapons, so if I can avoid it, I'll not hit the heavy intercessors with the 1 damage weapons. When the opponent doesn't have a choice, that's when they sort of start to stand out, I would guess. But yeah, no, even though it doesn't happen 70% of the time, you're only playing like 20 more points than them for regular intercessors, right? They have 5 more wounds, they have 2 more toughness. They also have a nice break point in that, like 3 wounds is a nice break point, because 3 wounds typically means against 2 damage weaponry, which I feel like there's still a shed load of 2 damage weapons in the meta. So against 2 damage weapons, they're just 50%. So against 2 damage weapons, essentially, they're 50% more survivable than regular intercessors, even if they just had the same number of toughness. Well, they've got 2 more toughness, and toughness 6 is... I feel like toughness 6 is a big deal, because like I said, I play Death Guard a lot, so when you're playing against Death Guard, even with their -1, you're still in T5, which is good for stuff like, you know, bolter fire or anything like that. And I think heavy bolters are actually a great example, because heavy bolters, have you played against Sisters Indirect, strength 10? I have. It's only AP 1 they're indirect, but it's 3 damage. Yeah, I mean, I think it's strength 10, AP 1, 3 damage. I did actually I played against them once, and I did actually beat them. But I mean, I guess the Sisters Indirect would be very good against heavy intercessors. But here's the thing, if he's using all his indirect to kill your heavy intercessors, then by de facto, excuse me, are your more potent jump units and stuff, are they not getting a bit more free reign because he's having to shoot heavy intercessors with his indirect? I mean, I guess maybe not, but maybe so. Any particular changes you're hoping for in the January? I'd like to see Blood Angel's characters buffed, and maybe they won't be changing detachments in January, I'm sorry to tell you. The only changes you're likely to see in January, I imagine, is points reductions. Blood Angels might get some slight point reductions, but I don't think they're going to change too much, honestly, because Blood Angels are sitting at that 45% win rate thing that they reckon is the Goldilocks zone, and when they get their armies into that, they sort of stop making as many meaningful changes or bigger changes. But they're not going to change a detachment, I feel like, until a new codex comes out. Like, I get the wishful thinking, but yeah, I think it's too wishful, man. I think they might drop the points on some of the characters for Blood Angels that you don't see played. But yeah, I don't know if I have high hopes for the January balance day slate. I think at that point we're kind of waiting for the new codex, and that's where we'll have to cross our fingers and hope that we're going to get changes, meaningful changes, new detachments, things like that, right? Campbell, happy holidays, welcome, how you doing? Since there's no Space Wolves commander, you're going to have to go for ideas and tactics for my Space Wolves. I know you don't rate Blade Guard 2, but how about 6 with Ragnar and a Lieutenant? My only issue is getting there. I mean, if your issue is getting there, put them inside a Land Raider, right? Blade Guard only take 1 space in a Land Raider, so it's easy to get them... It's easy to get them across the board. Just put them in a Land Raider. Everybody rates the Redeemer really high, but I think the regular Land Raider's fine too. Mullen says it would be nice if the editor enhancements. Again, Mullen, I think we're waiting for our codecs. The only thing that's maybe good is that we've seen these new codexes, like the what we need is a dedicated melee detachment that is not the Blood Angels detachment. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't get that in the Space Marine Codex. You would think that they would have put in a dedicated melee detachment, but they didn't. So I guess we're waiting for some sort of dedicated melee detachment that would be good. That would be really nice, actually. So if anyone didn't know, we're probably going to be live as well on New Year's Eve at some point for drinks and celebration of the new year. So if you're not doing anything at New Year, feel free. Or even if you are doing stuff, remember there's a big time difference. It's 20 to 2 in the afternoon here for me. So I think at midnight here in the UK, it's only like 7 p.m. in New York City. So if anyone wants to come and hang out and have a beer, maybe before you're going out for your night, if you're going out in America, then you could come and join us. We'll be having some beers and stuff on stream on Christmas Eve. Sorry, not Christmas Eve. Got Christmas Eve on the brain. That's because my kids keeps asking me if it's Christmas Eve. New Year's Eve. So I'm basically at the point with these guys where I'm going to be doing the second coat of a lot of the base colours now. So, boring step, but I'm going to be doing all the Mornfang brown. Because I spray these guys red, brown doesn't always go over red very well, so I guess I'm just going to paint a second coat of brown and try and tidy up all the crappy mistakes I made. So this is when I would go back and forward a bit with mistakes. Because up until now in the painting process, if I make a mistake, I just leave it. You can get bogged down fixing mistakes, but you're always going to come back for second coats or even third coats of second colours, so you can fix. I always feel like you can fix the mistakes a bit later on. The only time I guess I would fix mistakes earlier is if maybe I'm taking them to a tournament and I want them to look somewhat decent before the tournament. But yeah, the enhancements for Blood Angels are not the best, Mullen. You're 100% right. I was going to say, I don't think I've, maybe I used them one time, but I haven't used the enhancements in the Blood Angels attachment hardly at all, honestly. I think the biggest problem I had with the Blood Angels detachment was losing the +1. You don't realise how impactful that +1 to charge was until you actually get into battle and then realise how many failed charges you start making without the +1. The +1 saved me so many times. And yeah, I guess it's cool Dante can get it, but he's only one guy. You got a whole army that needs to make charges. You know, like when the orcs need to make charges, they call their WAG, and last I checked, the whole army gets advance and charge. Yeah, it's a bit funny. Blood Angel's got nothing that lets you advance and charge. Maybe they'll give us something that lets us advance and charge in the future. Maybe that's a dream to have. Braemar just dry brushed for the first time ever yesterday. How'd you get on with it? It's simple, right? You get the effect you were looking for, or? The closest dedicated melee would be a Stormlance detachment. Yeah, but I feel like the Stormlance detachment is not in a good place, man. Like, I don't even think White Scars players will play the Stormlance detachment. I just don't think it's a good detachment. I think it's probably the worst. Would it be fair to say it's the worst detachment in the Space Marine book? I was really underwhelmed by the Stormlance detachment. There's too many requirements for mounted. Yeah, it was like mounted. And then there was some weird, like, flyer. There was some very weird flyer rules that, like, I felt were super niche. Because, like, not that many people are running flyers. I mean, I guess if you're running Thunderhawks, they might be good, but, like, I don't feel like many people are running flyers this edition. I mean, I've barely... You know what, the tournament I was just at, the only person that was really running flyers was like the Tau player was running double Tiger Shark. But I feel like that was like it's like, you're not expecting to run into that all that much, really. DTM, Merry Christmas, dude, how are you? You all ready for a day of eating and hopefully some drinking? What's your plans? The first company or the Anvil one. The Anvil one, everybody seems to hate because it requires you to stand still a lot. I was thinking about that. Like, if you flood your list with like scouts or something, it could be like all your action monkeys. You possibly could make Anvil work. You could stand still a lot with lots of other things, right? DTM has plans of overeating this weekend for sure. Yeah, I think probably everybody does, right? We made like cinnamon rolls last night that were like a bit like what you would eat at Cinnabon, and we put so much icing sugar on them and stuff, and ate them when they were hot coming out of the oven. It was ridiculous. I love cinnamon rolls, but honestly I think this might have been too much, too sweet. Don't know if you'd ever hear anyone say that about a cinnamon roll, but they were so... I think we put so much icing sugar in them, it was ridiculous. It's good though. DTM's off until the 7th of January. Nice, me too, man. I think I'm back on... Is Monday the 8th? I think that's when I'm back. I'm going to try and enjoy some serious downtime. Maybe I'll actually get a unit finished. Maybe I'll be able to get the heavy intercessor ready for varnishing in the new year. How nice would that be? Get some transfers on these guys. I guess I don't know what I'm doing after this though. Like, I don't want to do another unit that goes into Legends. It sounds delicious. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was delicious, but also it was so much sugar. So much sugar is... Yeah, I don't know, it felt like almost like, I don't know, sickly, because there was too much sugar. I had one for lunch though, you know, like before I came on the stream, so maybe, I think it was maybe just felt a bit sickly because it was like warm and gooey and all the sugar. But yeah, do you know what? I'm actually kind of happy that the new Terminator rules are still not good, because I think if the new Terminator rules were good, I'd be rushing to try and get some more of my new Terminators painted, because I haven't even made the Terminators that came in Leviathan yet. Like I got 2 sets of Leviathan because I traded my Tyranids away for more Space Marines. So I got 10 of those new Terminators. People keep telling me how brilliant the new Terminators are, and I'm like, I haven't even taken them out of the box yet. Just because I already got quite a lot of Terminators, but also don't want to feel like I want to rush a unit that I don't super need, I guess. So I was actually surprised that they left the rule for Assault Terminators the way it is. You know, the Assault Terminators, when they make a charge, make your opponent do like a battle shock, and it's just so underwhelming. It's like, why would anyone take these Assault Terminators over the regular Terminators, I feel like. I haven't really seen many people running the... Like, I haven't actually seen anyone in tournaments just running straight up Assault Terminators. I ran them quite a bit in 9th edition as well. I ran them to multiple tournaments, Assault Terminators. I ran regular Terminators to tournaments as well, just because I didn't like putting all my eggs in the Sanguinary Guard basket and relying fully on Sangard. It is lunchtime, you should make something. Merry Christmas, El Marto. Your videos give me a lot. You're more than welcome, dude. You watching gives me a lot. Thank you so much for supporting. If people didn't watch, thered be no friggin' channel, so... Well, there would. It would just be me talking to myself. Sounds about normal anyway, doesn't it? But yeah, no, thanks for watching, dude. I'm glad the videos help. More coming in 2024 and beyond. And hopefully 2024... I don't know when I'm going to win it. I think if I do this channel for... Here's my bold prediction. If I do the channel for a decade... This is year 4 we're going into. If I do this channel for a decade, I will definitely have won a GT by then. How about that? Or maybe not even a GT. I'll have definitely won a tournament event before... yeah, I started the channel in August 2020, right? So by 2030, I'll have won an event. Promise. That's going to be the goal. How old will I be in 2030? I'll be 47. I'm 40 now. Oh, I can manage that. If I've not won an event by the time I'm 47, I'll play one of you guys on stream, and if you beat me, you can claim the title of Blood Angels Commander. How about that? How about them apples? That'd be pretty crazy, actually. A tournament for where everybody is playing Blood Angels, and the winner plays me as Blood Angels. That would create some sort of crazy weird meta, wouldn't it? Thanks, Campbell. I'll try. I think I am getting close. But hey, the main thing is having fun and making sure your opponents have good games and stuff like that. I do want to win an event at some point. I'd love to. But I also want people to have fun when they play against me, and I was going to say, to me that feels important. Maybe not quite as important as winning, but it does feel important. I think once I've won one, then I'll be able to be like, well, I won that event that one time. I keep trying. getting like top table experience though. Does the title come with the channel? Ooh. Just enter more than 2 events a year. I mean, I was entering like 4 or 5 events a year when the kids were a little bit easier, right? The kids will get easier again, dude. I came up here to do this stream today, and honestly, within like 10 minutes of coming upstairs, I heard like shouting downstairs. So I'm like, should I stop? I'll check it out when I finish. But yeah, no, the kids are, for the most part, becoming easier. Every day, every week, every year. Michael, my 2-year-old, can communicate now pretty good, so it's like, you could actually say to him, like, if you do that again, you will be in timeout. Whereas like 6 months ago, my wife would just get frustrated because she would be left with the kids while I was at tournaments, and when you can't communicate with them, that's the worst, I suppose. It's a lot easier when you can speak to them, I guess. Good morning from Canada. The tiniest of travelers. How tiny are you? Yeah, I'm not worried. I think when my daughter hit 2, that was when I started going to like 5 events a year again. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of off RTTs. If I do it, I kind of want to just do the whole 2-day thing. But the thing is, RTTs are kind of work better when you have young kids, because it's just 1 day. I guess I feel like you get more experience, while it's easier to win an RTT, I feel you also learn more doing GTs, right? Like, they're more competitive, they're more serious. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a couple of RTTs this year. They're not my favourite, I'll just put it that way. Prefer to do a bigger event. I think it's probably because I can only do so many events per year, so if I'm going to do an event, I'd rather do a more serious one. Having fun is still important. I mean, if you're not having fun, then why are you bothering, right? Like, it's supposed to be... That's why I try and make sure that my opponent has fun, even if I'm like really beating them, or even if yeah. I mean, I just try and make the game fun, I guess. That's why I don't get too upset when I lose. Just plod on, I guess. I hear it is frustrating though, right? Sometimes, like, if you lose, like, you go to a tournament and you lose your very first game, and you think, well, that's the end of my event already. I can never come back from losing the first game, you know. But well, we'll see. Felt good to go 3-0 in that last event, that's for sure. You do some more of that, some more of like day one where you just win all your games. That's what I was. That's kind of what I was doing. I was doing those day one sort of win all the game thing before my before I sort of had to take this extended leave of events for the kids being born. You're not tiny at all. It's only a nickname. Oh, how rubbish! I was expecting you to be tiny. I don't know what you can achieve being tiny, I guess, but. Paul says I ran almost mostly dreads yesterday in AdMech. Had one squad of tactical, dreadnought armor, terminators. You know, no one calls them tactical, dreadnought armor, terminators anymore, do they? With a chaplain, 3 death dreads, 2 fury. Wow, you ran a lot of box dreads. Did that actually do well? Do you think that you would participate in a league up north if there was one? Would you mean like a weekly league against various players, or what? We tried doing a bit of a like tournament league on the Plastic Cragheads channel. I guess the problem is everybody's got like a lot of real life commitments, and everyone's got jobs and stuff, and everyone's trying to match schedules. I suppose that you could arrange it would be a certain night every week, but it would be nice to get some tournament footage. I was thinking about that for one of the future events I go to just maybe try and take my camera on a small tripod, and if I do well and get to like for my final game, just try and like get some filming going on the final game. Thanks, Berg. I've got a lot of work still to do on these guys, but they're getting a bit more coloured in now, that's for sure. The rerolls were clutch all game, and the two librarians kept pouring the Terminators around the board. I suppose. I hadn't really thought of that. Rerolls are very strong though, right? Like, I know they said, like, hey, there's going to be less rerolls this edition of the game, but there is still lots of ways to get rerolls. And if you use that right, it is arguably probably one of the strongest mechanics in the game, is using your rerolls correctly, or using the right rerolls at the right time if you've got the options. Mad respects for box knots, because they'll soon be legends. That'll be a sad day, won't it? I don't think anything else will legends till 11th edition, but I think you're probably right. I was thinking about more Death Company Dreads at an event. They are like arguably the most reliable melee unit you can get for like making the charge and then doing a lot of damage. I only own one Death Company Dreadnought, but I guess having 3 is like your entire limit of reserves, right? Because it's like 3 is like 495 points, I believe. So, but then I suppose you could start some scouts on the board, and you could just guerrilla tactics the scouts, or I forget the name of the scouts ability that lets them just pick up and come back down. Is it actually called guerrilla tactics, or is it called something else now? Burgosaurus is going to buy some Centurions. Man, Centurions have been good this edition again. I think they were quite good in 9th. They were definitely kind of a niche pick in 9th, but also they could be pretty strong. And you see a lot of people running the Devastator Centurions to great effect now. And when I was running the melee ones, into certain units like monsters and vehicles, very effective. Happy holidays, Pac-Man. I hope we get a Librarian Redemptor. A few people have talked about that recently, saying that, like, do you think there'll be an upgrade kit for Redemptor or the Redemptor style chassis to give us like our unique Blood Angel Dreadnought? I mean, I hope so. I always feel sad when we lose some of the flavour of like the individual chapters to... I mean, why do we lose the how do we put that? Like, we lose the flavour because the Primaris Marine releases are a bit more generic. So when they bring back flavour, I'm all for it. I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for people's collections. It sucks a bit if you've paid money for those unique models that you now can't really use, but I mean, I guess that's always going to happen. You know, that even happens with like board games, right? Over time, like a board game will get a re-release or something. You can't, I feel like you can't ever get away from that. This gun is so... I really want to finish painting this belt underneath this gun, but it's such an awkward spot. Afternoon, Eternal Crusader. I hope you're ready for Christmas. How are you, dude? Just have to do the best I can get, I guess, in there. A new upgrade kit for Blood Angels. Yeah, we do need a much better upgrade kit. The Primaris one stinks, doesn't it? Krillin says we do a league where you play one game with it within 2 weeks. I mean, that's a cool idea. I mean, we would probably run some sort of league with the plastic crackheads. Yeah, let me speak to them. I could run a league with them. Would we get a Furio remake? Or is that covered by the Brutalis? I mean, sorry, the Furioso. Is the Furioso that big a deal? Like, I'd much rather see the Death Company one or the Librarian Dreadnought get the remake. Just because I think that they get more play. In some ways, they seem a little bit more iconic to me. But I mean, maybe it's just I never really rated the Furioso that high. I had a few box knots, like the standard ones back in the day, you know, like assault cannon / close combat weapon / I think I had 2 with multi-meltas and the close combat ones, and these are all metal, by the way, so these are super old. And I think I had 1 with the assault cannon. But for me, it always seemed, and maybe because I never owned a Furioso, I did own the Death Company and the Librarian, maybe it seemed to me that the Furioso was the least popular of the 3, but maybe that's just because that's what I own, right? I always ask people what they want for Christmas. Yeah, no one asks me, Marcus. No one in my household asks me. No one in my extended family asks me. I don't get it. Because I could literally just tell them, like, a Warhammer voucher. Or this box of models. Do you know what? I tell a lie, like maybe like a decade ago, one Christmas my sister asked me what I wanted. And I told her, like, I want this box of Warhammer models. And I got that box of Warhammer models, and guess what? I made and painted that box of Warhammer models and felt cool about it. But most of the time, no one in my family asks me, and then I get a pair of friggin' socks. Or something worse. So, we'll see. My wife asked me what I want, so At least I know I'm getting one present that I want this year. Hope you guys are going to get what you wanted. I often see people in the chat talk about how they always get Warhammer and they get what they want, and I'm always jealous. Like, man, why won't people buy? What's the aversion to buying Warhammer for Christmas? It's like Warhammer is for every time of the year. It's not just for Christmas. It's not like a dog. Is Warhammer socks? You know what? If I got Warhammer socks, I guess that might be okay. But that's not really what I'm hoping to get, Marcus. How are you, Mark? Sorry, Marius. Happy holiday, James. You well? Hope the family's well. I hope you're all ready. It's very early for you, James, is it? 9 o'clock? Or is it 8 o'clock in Chicago, actually? You guys are Central Time Zone, right? Did you see our tier list on the Grots channel on Thursday night, Marius? Because they... Hey, I was right, 8. Good morning, James. Did you see that on Thursday night they... Are you off? Did you get some time off for Christmas, James? A couple of weeks or something? Did you see, Marius, that they put Ultramarines as the tier, the middle tier? Saying that Ultramarines are neither good nor bad. They're just Ultramarines, right? Have you started Blood Angels yet? I've not seen any Blood Angels on your Twitter. Why not? If you tell me right now, Marius, that you have not started Blood Angels, you're going into the supermarket today, you mentalist. I don't know if I'd be going to a supermarket today. Well, I might go to a supermarket today for a look at like kids' toys. Like take my son with me or something, but I don't think I would go into a supermarket to do like a bunch of shopping today, because there'll just be crap left on the shelves, and you'll be half an hour to get through the checkouts. Yeah, Marius, if you haven't started Blood Angels, then I need to know, because I need to get you a Blood Angel model. I don't know what, but I'm sure I could look into my cupboard and find a single Blood Angels model to give you, to get you started. Because why not? Blood Angels, we are the golden... Well, we're the golden host, aren't we? Sellers went your shopping yesterday to push through the aisles. It's like, you remember in the pandemic, I don't know if you guys got this in America, right? But in the UK, during the pandemic, someone created a rumour. I don't know where this rumour came from, right? That was like, the rumour was something along the lines of, because of the pandemic, there's not going to be enough toilet roll. And because of that, people honestly went to the stores and bought like, I want to say like 100 rolls of toilet roll, right? Like, you know those big like 24 packs of toilet roll? People just have their trolley, right? Like the trolley where you'd put your entire weekly shop, and the whole trolley, all that's in it, is like 24 packs of toilet roll. People go to the checkout to buy 100 toilet rolls. And I'm just looking at them like, of all the things you're worried about running out of, is toilet roll, right? Like, I feel like, because I've got a baby, or have babies, I get 2 kids that are very young, if there was no toilet roll in the house, you could find another way of cleaning there, and then you could take said item and clean it in like a disinfectant bowl or something like that, right? Like, when we do our washing, sometimes when all the kids' clothes goes into the washing, you get these special tablets you put in the washing that's like a disinfectant tablet, because sometimes, hey, the kids leave a bit of poo on their underwear and you don't see it, so you put this tablet into the wash with it so it doesn't like get clogged up in your washing machine or anything like that, right? So it's like, I feel like it's the same at Christmas. People are like worried about random stuff and they just go crazy. This is what's going to happen if we ever have another virus or another pandemic. People are just going to be in the stores buying shit that they do not need, And they haven't thought, well, maybe, you know, like, because toilet roll is something, like, you can live without toilet roll. I mean, you can't live without food or and that was the other thing. People were buying, that was it, people were buying baby milk because all the stores had run out of milk. So now babies that actually need baby milk couldn't get milk because people were buying baby milk to put in their coffee because they were worried that, like, oh shit, there'll be no milk from like, if you can't drink coffee without milk, maybe you should just not be drinking coffee. How about that? You know, like, it's, people are going crazy for the craziest things. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So that's what the stores will be like. And it's getting worse every year, I swear to God. I haven't even been in a store this year. I let my wife do that when I'm at the office, you know? The Eternal Crusader did a shopping yesterday. Butchers, fruit, veg, Aldi, then Tesco. It was heaving with people. Heaving is a British word that just means busy. They're busier than shit, basically. James took a bit off, checking in while brewing some coffee. It's nice to hear from you, James. I hope you and the family have a great Christmas. I hope you're going to maybe join us for a beer on New Year's. Good luck, Marius. It was limited to 2 packs per customer, and they were selling it. There was what they were selling toilet roll by the gram on eBay. You gotta be joking me. It was called Loo Roll Gate. Ever look up the Aussie toilet paper knife fights? It was crazy. People were having a fight with a knife about getting the toilet roll from the store, and that's the fucking. Excuse me. Oh well. If I didn't demonetize the stream, I just did. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I've got my goal at the top of the screen. I'm trying to get 9 new members this month. I've got 6. So if anyone's new to the channel, wants to support the channel for like, I think it's like $3 or $4 a month, I'd appreciate it. It helps me put a bit extra content out. It helps me justify all the time I spend here to my family. So. But if you don't, I've got a good number of members. Everyone in the chat with a green name, you guys rock. Thank you for being members this year, and most of you have been members since last year as well. Super appreciated, guys. I made a thank you video yesterday. I'm not sure if you all saw it, but thank you for supporting the channel for another year. Hopefully, another of many years to come, right? I ain't going nowhere. But yeah, of all the things to fight over, friggin' toilet roll, man. You don't need toilet roll. Like, toilet rolls it's the same as milk in your coffee. You don't need milk in your coffee. There's other ways you can do this. If you went to the toilet, you could literally step out of the toilet into the shower and use the shower, and you probably don't even need to touch anything. You can probably clean yourself without touching anything. It's ridiculous. But yeah, people are going batshit crazy for toilet roll. I think the thing that was more worrying, though, was people buying like baby milk for their coffees, because like certain babies, mothers can't actually breastfeed children and stuff like that, so people are buying that shit for their coffee. We're actually putting babies' lives in jeopardy. I'm like, if you can't drink coffee without milk, then just maybe don't drink the coffee. Campbell, happy to be a member of the community. Campbell, I'm super happy you're here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's panic buying. Just absolute panic buying. It's crazy, man. Us humans, man. You ever see that scene in Terminator 2 where there's like the 2 kids fighting each other with the gun, and they're like, we're not gonna make it, humans, are we? It's like, yeah, we're dumb humans. We're selfish and we're dumb, and yeah. That's the bottom line, is that's humanity, that's human behavior. It reminds you, remember that bit in Aliens when he's like, I don't know whose work, Burke, you are the alien, you don't see them screwing each other over for percentage. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They make fun of it in movies, but it's when you know, true colors come out. Man, let's not be so depressing, huh? Let's be happy. Humans be cray-cray. Yeah, I mean, we're all... yeah, that's why they worship the gods of chaos. Maybe that's the trigger point. They couldn't get loo roll. They're like, this Imperium sucks. There's no loo roll to be had anywhere. We're turning to the god of Nurgle because they don't care about staying clean. Michael coming in with the 10 gifted memberships. Michael, thank you. Thank you. What superstar you are, dude.
I have a moment.
Welcome, new members. Get your asses into Discord. You're welcome in the members room. You need to say thank you to Michael. Dude, I appreciate it.
I have a moment.
Mike's a cool name. It's the name of my father, and it was the name I gave my son as well. What superstar, Mike? Thanks. I hope you all have a great Christmas. Baby milk smells awful, does it? I don't know. Maybe.
I have a moment.
I think there's like a million brands of it now, so maybe the one that we bought didn't smell too bad. But we did buy a bunch of
I have a moment.
just because sometimes in the middle of the night, my wife was like, I don't want to have to always be the one doing the feeding. So like some nights she would take the night off, and if my kid woke up at like 3 in the morning, I could get baby milk from the fridge.
I have a moment.
Well, look at that. 10 gifted subs. That'll push me way over my limit of 9 new members as well. Thank you, dude. Oh, it's non-stop. Everybody's a member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas, Michael. Thank you. You've been such a supporter of the channel for such a long time. Much, much appreciated. Like I said, if you missed the earlier, the next tier list video is coming out on Wednesday. I mean, it's ready to go now, but I just figure people are a bit busy with Christmas and Christmas Day, so and then Boxing Day. So it'll come out on Wednesday. That'll give people a little bit of time to digest and dig into the next tier list video. So in the next tier list video, we're covering quite a lot, actually. It's like we're covering Gravis, we're covering the super heavy tanks, we're covering lone operatives, we're covering Terminators, and there was one other thing. I think it was like miscellaneous. There's not that much miscellaneous, but that is what is in the next tier list video, and that's coming out on Wednesday. I haven't set a time for it. Probably be out the normal time, like afternoon UK time. Merry Christmas, Happy Sanguilla. Anthony, how are you? Eternal Crusader needs... Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to get off here pretty soon. I said to my wife I'd be finished at 2:15. It's already 20 past. So I'm probably going to stay till 2:30. And then I'm going to go get involved in kids' activities and all this sort of stuff. I hope you guys all have a great Christmas, and I'll probably see you all in the comments on the 27th, and I will probably be live quite a bit, and I'm definitely going to be live on the 31st, 100%. We'll be live to take in the new year. That's always a fun stream, so if you got no plans for New Year, because I kind of feel like I never used to do anything for New Year, just sit and watch Jules Holland or something. Nothing wrong with that, I like Jules Holland. I might do that again one year, to be honest, just because I haven't done it now for a bunch of years, but because I don't really do anything, I figure get some beers, we'll get on stream, we'll just hang out and see if you guys are about. I say beers, I might have a whiskey or maybe a cocktail this year. I didn't drink too much last year because obviously I had my broken arm last year. It's like crazy that was a year ago. But no broken arm this year, so you could definitely have a few extra drinks, that's for sure. Michael, maybe we'll grab a few drinks thanks to those gifted memberships, thank you. I'll have to brave a shop though, like an insanely busy shop to go somewhere. So tell me, anyone got any Christmas traditions? Any movies that you have to watch every year? Any movies that are good with kids? Would also be appreciated if anyone watches movies with their kids every year. Tell me. I was maybe going to try my daughter with Home Alone. We tried her with Home Alone last year. We think she was a little bit too young. She's 4 this year. Me and my wife used to often watch Die Hard at Christmas. There's the obvious... It's like every year there's a debate, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? In our house, we think it is. I mean, it's set at the Christmas offie party, right? But any other movies that you guys are gonna watch, that you watch every year? Michael says Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. What about Die Hard 2? Because it's kind of Christmas as well, but is Die Hard the one? Like even because I remember when I was a kid, quite liked Die Hard 2. It always seems to be Die Hard that you come back to. Sad times about Bruce Willis though, right? Like I believe he's got dementia now. Which is really sad for someone like so iconic. I've seen some videos that looks like he's getting really good support from his family, which is nice, right? Like it's nice to have family that are going to support you, but what a tough illness to have to deal with, right? Just some days you have really, really terrible memory, you don't even know who you are. It must be tough. Brian always watches Home Alone, yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you know what Nightmare Before Christmas, Phil, is like my wife's all-time favourite movie? I'd never seen it before I met my wife, actually. My wife always would be like, how have you not seen this? Do you not watch telly? I was like, I literally play video games and make Warhammer models. When do you think I have time to watch telly? I feel like we made some good progress on these heavies. I feel like I'm definitely going to make... I feel like I can definitely get these finished this holiday, maybe. Christmas Story. I don't know that one. Christmas Vacation, it's a classic. I don't know that one either. Trucker Judge says, just had surgery, going to spend the holidays painting and not working the rest of the week. I hope you hope the surgery went well, dude. I hope you feel better soon. Right, I hear my wife shouting at the children downstairs, so I am on borrowed time, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I really hope you all have a great Christmas. The trick is to watch the telly while pretending to work on Warhammer models. 30 minutes of watching, about 5 minutes of work is a decent ratio to aim for. See, that's the thing. Normally when I would tell my wife to put the telly on, and then I just focus 100% on my models, right? And then she'll be like asking me about this movie, oh, this was a good movie, and I'm like, yeah. Really enjoyed that movie last night. Don't ask me any more questions about it because I don't remember any of it, but I do know that I finished that unit of, you know, whatever I was working on. I used to have all my hobby stuff set up in the living room though, but ever since having the young children, I can't do that anymore, so... one day I'll get back to where I can just leave stuff like on the pallet in the living room. That'll be cool. Yeah, the second coats on these colours though of these heavies are coming along. I'll try and get a painting stream in the next few days where we just continue to bash on through stuff. And tier list on Wednesday. I'm definitely gonna play Battle Sector on stream in the next week, because I feel like I really should have completed Battle Sector by now, and it's been out for like 18 months or something. And I'm definitely gonna play Chaos Gate again. I haven't played Chaos Gate since like January, so you'll see me playing Chaos Gate at least in one stream in the next 2 weeks as well. If you've not played Chaos Gate, it's usually in the Steam sale, and I really like it. It reminds me a lot of the original XCOM games. It's very similar. So I'll see you guys at some point in the next couple of weeks doing that. I'll be back to do a bit more painting. Thanks for making this community awesome. Everybody that's here, everybody that's watching on the live or the replay, appreciate it. New tier list video coming next week. I guess we'll finish the tier list, all the vehicles and stuff. That'll come out some point in mid-January. So 4 of the 5 tier lists will be released by next Wednesday. The final one will come in January. Merry Christmas, Dwayne. Merry Christmas, Greg. I'll try and tag me in Discord if you need to say hello to me. I'll have my phone with me. You'll get your messages in Discord. That's about it. Enjoy Christmas. I was going to say, is it still snowing out there? A little bit. Hope you guys get a white Christmas. Have a great one. Eat too much if you can. Enjoy your family if you can. If you can. And if you can't, don't let them bother you. I'll see you in a couple of days, guys. Merry Christmas. Peace.